Few names in history evoke as much admiration and controversy as Napoleon Bonaparte. But how did he rise to power, and what led to his downfall? This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte, the man who changed the course of history. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon was sent to France for military training at a young age. Despite being an outsider, his sharp mind and determination helped him rise through the ranks. His big break came during the siege of Toulon in 1793. Leading a successful attack against the British, he gained the attention of the French government. From that moment, his ascent was unstoppable. Napoleon's campaign in Italy in 1796 turned him into a national hero. Facing a larger and better equipped Austrian army, he revolutionized warfare by emphasizing speed and surprise. His soldiers adored him, calling him the Little Corporal. In battle, he personally directed artillery and cavalry movements, often changing the course of war on the spot. His victories in Italy forced Austria to sue for peace, ending the War of the First Coalition. In 1798, Napoleon set his sights on Egypt. His goal was to disrupt British trade routes and establish a French presence in the Middle East. The Egyptian campaign saw brilliant victories, such as the Battle of the Pyramids, where he defeated the Mamluks using innovative square formations. However, the campaign also had setbacks. The British Navy, under Admiral Nelson, annihilated the French fleet at the Battle of the Nile, stranding Napoleon's forces. Despite military struggles, Napoleon's expedition led to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which would later unlock the secrets of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. But with France in political turmoil, Napoleon abandoned his army and secretly returned to Paris, where he saw an opportunity to seize power. By 1799, the French government was weak and divided. Sensing his moment, Napoleon staged a coup known as the 18th Brumaire, overthrowing the government and establishing himself as first consul. His reforms stabilized France, restoring order after years of revolution. In 1804, he took his greatest step, crowning himself Emperor of France in a grand ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral. By placing the crown on his own head, he signaled that he owed his power to no one but himself. This act stunned Europe and declared his independence from the Pope's authority. Under his rule, France saw sweeping reforms. He established the Napoleonic Code, a legal system that still influences modern laws worldwide. He improved education, economy, and infrastructure, making France a dominant power. With Europe in chaos, Napoleon launched a series of campaigns that would make him the master of the continent. The Battle of Austerlitz in 1805 was his greatest victory, where he crushed the Russian and Austrian armies by luring them into a trap and striking at their weak points. His genius in warfare seemed unmatched, but his biggest mistake came in 1812, the invasion of Russia. Expecting a quick victory, his army of 600,000 men was instead met with a brutal winter and scorched earth tactics. The Russians burned their own cities to deny him resources. When he reached Moscow, he found it abandoned and set ablaze. Forced into a disastrous retreat, his army was decimated. Only a fraction survived. After his Russian disaster, Napoleon's enemies united against him. In 1814, Paris fell, and he was forced to abdicate. Exiled to the island of Elba, he was given the title of Emperor of Elba, but was effectively a prisoner. However, he refused to fade away. In 1815, he escaped and returned to France, beginning his famous 100 Days. Thousands of soldiers rallied to him, and he regained power, but his enemies were waiting. At the Battle of Waterloo, he faced the Duke of Wellington and Prussian forces. Outnumbered and outgunned, he was finally defeated. Captured by the British, he was exiled to St. Helena, a remote island where he spent the last years of his life. Napoleon Bonaparte was a man of contrasts, a brilliant strategist, a visionary leader, but also a man whose ambition led to his downfall. Love him or hate him, his impact on history remains undeniable. Even today, his military tactics are studied, and his legacy lives on in the laws he created.